हरिः ॐ कूजन्तं राम रामेति मधुरं मधुराक्षरम् आरुह्य कविताशाखां वन्दे वाल्मीकिकोकिलं वाल्मीकेर्मुनिसिंहस्य कवितावनचारिणः शृण्वन् रामकथानादं को न याति पराङ्गतिं जयत्यति बलो रामः लक्ष्मणश्च महाबलः राजा जयति सुग्रीवो राघवेण अभिपालितः दासोऽहं कोसलेन्द्रस्य रामस्य अक्लिष्टकर्मणः हनूमान् शत्रुसैन्यानां निहन्ता मारुतात्मजः न रावणसहस्रं मे युद्धे प्रतिफलं भवेत् शिलाविस्तुप्रहृतः पादपैश्च सहस्रशः अर्दयित्वा पुरीं लङ्काम् अभिवाद्य च मैथिलीं समुद्धार्तो गमिष्यामि मिषतां सर्वराक्षसां नमोऽस्तु रामाय स लक्ष्मणाय देव्यै च तस्यै जनकात्मजायै नमोऽस्तु रुद्रेन्द्रयमानिलेभ्यो नमोऽस्तु चन्द्रार्कमरुद्गणेभ्यः नमः सभायै स्वस्ति. Sri Ramayan and Life Management lecture series is ongoing at the Hindu Temple of Lubbock for more than 2 years since April 2023. This is itself like a great yajna. And today we are in the 88th sitting. Ashtotra Ashititama Sangoshti. Although it is a kind of a big cultural day in America, Super Bowl. Seattle and New England are playing, but still I am very pleased that Ramakatha is happening without a break. And those people who have been instrumental in organizing this are here today. Srimati Mili, Srimati Hetal Parikh, Sriman Jittu Bhai Goyal, and Srimati Deena Bahan. Additionally, I was very touched to see Madam Marissa saying that what brought you to the Hindu Temple of Lubbock? She said all roads lead here. So welcome, Swagatam, Suswagatam. So we are dealing with how Ramayan, the great Indian epic, is going to talk about life lessons, life management. And today we are in a very important part of Ramayan where it tells Sukha Dukkha Chakram Jivanam. So the life is all about sorrows and happiness. Sorrows and happiness. Nobody can escape. Sukha Dukkha Chakrameva Jivanam. Rama, for 24 years, he had one of the blessed life in the world. He was the son of the Chakravarti, married into a great family, was living according to Dharma. All of a sudden, at the 84th Sarga, starting from the beginning, Balakanda and the 7th Sarga in Ayodhya Kanda, these are all some quizzes in Ramayan, so that keeps our memory fresh. Balakanda has 77 Sargas. And in the 7th Sarga of Ayodhya Kanda, that is 84th Sarga, all of a sudden a curtain removes and then there drops a lady called Mantara, a wicked Mantara. So he comes all of a sudden, we don't know where he is from, where she is from, but all of a sudden, a character gets introduced. Ja Jnati Dasi Yato Jata Kaikeya Sushita Prasadam Chandra Sankasam Aruroha Yadrishya. That's where Ramayan begins. So the act of Ramayan begins. Yadrishya, all of a sudden, we don't know. She claims that she is somewhere related to Kaikeyi, but she has been with Kaikeyi ever since Kaikeyi was born. Jnati dasi yato jata Kaikeya so ushita. She has been taking care of Kaikeyi. Then she comes on the balcony of the palace and sees people making merry on the streets. And then she got irked. And there Ramayan starts. Yadurshaya prasadam chandra sangasam aruroha yadurshaya. So Ramayan began. So from that time onwards, for past 5 days, we are dealing with 5 days in the life of Rama. Most stressful days in his life. So 24 years he lived the happiest part of life. And then 5 days was whole hell broke loose. Not for him, but in the act I am telling. Because Valmiki, the writer of Ramayan, wants to portray Rama as a human being. So in the life of that Manusya, Uttama Manusya, 5 days have been stressful. So then he is only going to take a breather, fresh air, and wants to relax on the 6th morning. Yavata Chitrakutasya Narasringani Avekshate Kalyani Samadatte na pape kurute manaha. So then the elders, Bharadwaj, in Valmiki Ramayana it was sage Bharadwaja, the son of Kashyapa and Atiti, Anasuya, the son of Anasuya and Atri. So Bharadwaja is the son of Anasuya, Ma Anasuya and Atri Rishi. He says, go to Chitrakoota, because why I am sending you Chitrakoota? Ram, I know what difficulties you have gone through. The minute you see the hills of Chitrakoota, your mind will be so pleasant. Even the man, it happened. People tell that in Chhattisgarh and all, there was a big dacoit, they say, and when the dancer Padma Subramaniam, the great dancer Padma Vibhushan, Padma Subramaniam, for many years she used to go into that Prantiya, Madhya Pradesh. It was a joint, Raipur and all were part of Madhya Pradesh. Now it became a separate state. So she used to put dramas on Ramayana and Mahabharata and Krishna Katha. Slowly it changed the heart of a big Naxalite, Daku. So the minute you see the hill of Chitrakoota, Kalyani Samadatte, mind becomes calm and happiness comes. Na pape kurute manaha. So they are walking. So Rama, Lakshmana and Sita are walking. So how it happens? Lakshmana walks first. In the middle, Ma Sita walks. Back Rama protects them and walk. So he started, his mind became very happy. People were started making, these three people sensed some sort of relief. Shringaram Kshiti Nandini Viharane. So Ramayana is a kavya. It's an epic poetry. So if you have to have an epic poetry, it has to have all the Navarasa. And Valmiki never infused Shringara Rasa in Balakanta. Never. Even though 12 years, Rama was about 16 years and Ma Sita was about 8 years when they got married. So very young age, youthful days. It's not going to come back at all. Never for Rama. So what did I say? Sukha dukkha chakrameva samsaram jivanam. It is happening. So then after marriage, 16, 14 you can take it. 14 plus 2, 26 years. Yeah, Rama was 26 when he left for the forest. So that 12 years they had a good life, like you all lead. Contribute whatever you can to the society in your own way, right? So they were living very happily. Never Ram or Sita thought that this is going to be part of their life. 5 days came. And now they said, oh, I need a relief, some sort of a hiatus from all the stress. So Valmiki for the first time, he is going to introduce the act of romance between Ram and Sita. Shringaram, that happens here. So that is why Chitrakoot is very pious. Because this is where Ram and Sita, probably 10 months in my calculation, but people said 10 years, whatever it is. Particularly in Chitrakoot, they might have stayed only 10 months, but in that region, they might have stayed 12 years before moving to Nasik. Anyway, so this is where all the romance happens, happiness. That 10 years, 10 or 11 years, that's where Ram lived very happily because he is a Dharmatma. He wants to be in the midst of sages and wants to live a simple life. That's going to happen. But where did this romance happen? The romance happened on the banks of Mandhakini river. So that is why Chitrakoot is very important. Shringaram Kshiti Nandini Viharane. So what is Ramayana? According to Ramakarnamritam, this is where for him Ramayana, because he is a Kavi from South India says, Shringaram Kshiti Nandini Viharane. This is where Ram played with Sita. He was 26 years. Sita perhaps was 16 years. They started playing, thinking back to the good old days. So, Shringaram Shiti Nandini Viharane Viram Dhanurbhanjane. We have seen all those things. And third important acts in Chitrakoota, very important. This is where Rama is known to be a Sharanagata Vatsala. This is where even though a great sin was committed by Jayanta, the son of Indra, who came in the facade of a crow, and that crow bit the breast of Ma Sita. And Rama, because of the presence of Ma Sita, he forgave. So, Karunyam Bhali Bhojane, 3 main acts we have seen. One, Shringaram, we are going to see in this sarga, next sarga. Then, Veeram Dhanurbhanjane, Shiva Dhanurbhanjan. We saw that's what led Rama to marry Sita. And now, in this place, Ma Sita tells this personal story to Hanuman in Sundarakanda. So that happened in Chitrakoot on the banks of Mandhakini, where Rama forgave the most sinnest act of Jayanta, who came in the facade of a crow. Jayanta is son of Indra. And he bit the breast of Ma Sita. Karunyam Balibojan. Balibojan mane crow. Bali mane food droplets. So that is the one which feeds on the dropped food is crow. Bhalibhojana mane crow. Karunyam Bhalibhojane. So what is Ramayan? Ramayan is nothing but rasa. Depending upon your taste, you can take it as a bhakti rasa. You can take it as a veera rasa. You can take it as a karunya rasa. According to the Bhavabhuti, who wrote Uttara Ramacharita, another Rama Bhakta, he says, what I think of Ramayan is nothing but karuna eva rasahi. Eko rasa karuna eva. Karuna. Because he took it to his heart, the act of karunyam of Rama in Chitrakoot, and he says the entire Ramayana is nothing but karuna. But for Valmiki and more importantly for Tulasidas, it is nothing but bhakti. Prema ardra vihvala gira purushaf purana tvam tushtuvuhu madhuripa madhuraiva chobihi. This is what Tulasidas did. Tulasidas stayed in Chitrakoot and he was born, or his younger days were spent in that Prantiya, in the region of Chitrakoot, which we call now Rajapur. Premardra Vihvala. So why Valmiki and Tulasi gave these words? Because they were blessed to give the bhakti words. For Bhavabhuti it is Karuna. For Valmiki, for Giridhara, for Tulsi, it is Prema, Bhakti between them and Lord. Premardra Vihvala. It is all juiced, Vihvala Gira. The text of Ramayana is nothing but the juice of Bhakti, based on the teachings of previous people. Prema ardra, ardra mane bhakti. Prema ardra vihvala girav puranav purushaha tvam tushtuhu madhuripa madhurairva chobihi. So all I can please you, Tulsidas and Valmiki cries, hey Madhuripu, hey, you are the slayer of the demon Madhu. All I can do is only using Madhu, Madhurai, Vachobihi, even though, like das. Vachaha vidambitamivam. I am a pakandi. I am a hypocrite. Tell something, not think here. Vacho vidambitamidam mama nicha vachaha. Mama nicha vachaha. Dasasya vachaha nichaha. Parantu. Why we have to say whatever possible on Sundays you have to say as a vrata? Because this gives pleasantness to him. Chantisu te savishaya mamadurvacho bihi. That is bhakti. Right? So bhakti. So this is what is happening. Now they all saw Chitrakoot. Matanga yuta anusrutam pakshi sanga anunanitam Chitrakoot. 4 times sequentially Valmiki uses the word Chitrakoot. Matanga yuta anusrutam pakshi sanga anunaditam Chitrakoota imam pashya pravruddha shikaram giram. So he was happy. Until then, Rama also got perplexed. When he was telling Lakshmana to go back in the previous sarga, we could never see this from Rama, but he is a human being, according to Valmiki. So he says, Lakshmana, if you don't go back to Ayodhya, our aunt Kaikeyi, Chotima, she will be very ill to our parents, particularly to my mother. I don't know what suffering my mother will go through. Can you believe Kaikeyi won't do that? In fact, Kaikeyi became most affectionate, which we will also see in Chitrakoot. A lot of drama is going to happen in Chitrakoot. So Rama also got perplexed. But now he came back to sense, for lack of better term, and then he saw Chitrakoot, Sring, the hill, the continuous hill. Matanga yuta anusrutam, surrounded by lot of young healthy elephants. Matanga. Pakshi sanga anudaditam. Even today it is very pristine. Lot of birds, cuckoo and peacock, everything. Chitrakutam imam pashya pravruddha shikaram girim. Look at those. Hey Sita, hey Lakshmana, look at those consequently running parallel, pravruddha shikaram girim, samabhutam samabhumitale ramye, dhrumair bahubhi avrite, punye ramsyamahe tata chitrakutasya kanane. Why we have to study this sarga? Valmiki never says Palasruti. But people say because Rama became happy. When Rama became happy, those people listening to the emotions of Rama, they will also experience happiness. So he says, Lakshmana, he himself says, he is going to finish this sarga. It is a relief. After we came from Pravrasane Vanam, after Purim Pravrasane, after I left the city of Ayodhya, it is where I am feeling at home, Rama, Lakshmana, Sita. And that curtail will be drawn. So this sarga will try to finish. So, Sama Bhumi Tale Ramye, pick up a uniform place, beautiful place. He orders Lakshmana. Drumaihi Bahubi Avrite, surrounded by a lot of trees. So you will see a lot of scenics. That's the importance of this sarga. Punye Ramsyamahe, this is going to be pious because we are going to have peace of mind. Ramsyamahe, can you believe? Rama says, Rama was itself stressed. Punye Ramsyamahe Tata, affectionately he calls Lakshmana, He Saumitre, He Tata, Chitrakutasya Kanane, Tataha Tau Padacharena, Gacchantau Sah Sitaya, Ramyam Asedatu Shailam, Chitrakoot. I told you, sequentially, Valmiki puts the word Chitrakoot, Chitrakoot, Chitrakoot. At least if you recite Chitrakoot, you can see, maybe I'm biased, I'm feeling that kind of innate sense of happiness and pleasure. Tataha, afterwards, Tau Padacharena. So Rama wants to take back his youth. So he says, step by step they are walking. Look, Sita, this is happening. Look, Sita, that is happening. So they are walking by feet. Don't ask me, everybody walks by feet. But he was a Chakravarti's son, so he never walked. Only now he is walking. Tataha tau padacharena gacchantau sahasitaya ramyam asedatuhu shailam chitrakutam manoramun ramyam asedatuhu. I am feeling the happiness is coming to me. Tam tu parvatam asadya nana pakshigana yutam bahumula palam ramyam sampannam sarasodakam. So this is very important. Everywhere Valmiki will say how beauty this was, how the scene was pristine, how green it was. The water was like madhu, saraso udakam. It was so sweet. Mandhakini river was so sweet. Bahumula phalam ramyam. Even the fruits, seeing the fruits were, even that was merry. And imagine how it would taste. Bahumula phalam ramyam sampannam. It's full, resplendent. It was there for everybody. Manogyoyam Girihi Saumya Nana Drumalata Yutaha Bahumula Paloramyo Swajiva Pratibhati Me. I'm myself feeling elated. Manojwalam. I'm feeling Manognyayam. I'm able to feel the happiness in my mind. Manognyayam Girihi Saumya. Hey Lakshmana. Saumya means young man. Gentleman. So, young man, Lakshmana, Girihi Saumyam. Look, because happiness. Look at the Giri. Nana Drumam Lata Yutaha, with lot of plants, with lot of creeps, everything. Bahumula Phaloram Yos, it is enough for us to survive. Swajiva, Sukha Jivan ke liye, this is enough. Bahumula Phaloram Yaha, Swajiva Pratibhati me Manayascha Mahatma Munayascha Mahatmano Vasantya Shilochaye Ayam Vaso Bhavet Tavat Atra Saumya Rame Mahi. This is what I said. So people used to tell, if you are feeling unpleasantness, you need a child, then study the fourth sarga of Ramayan, where Vasishta comes and tells Dasaratha. And if you are feeling depressed, read this sarga, 56th sarga. Rama himself says, I'm feeling happy. Munayascha Mahatmanaha Vasantya Shilochaye Ayam Vaso Bhavet Tavat. This place Tavat, that's all. That is the reason. Ayam Vasaha Bhavet Atra mane here. We will settle here. Saumya Rame Mahe. So we will make ourselves happy. Santusht. Iti Sita cha Ramascha Lakshmanascha Kritanjalihi Abhigamyasramam Sarve Valmikim Abhivadayan. So the writer himself get introduced. Very few, 3 slokas at the maximum, that's all. So, it's very important. So, why Ramayana is an authentic text? Ramayana was written as a biography by an author, by a rishi, by a blessed rishi, when Rama was living. Where is the proof? Internal reference. There is an internal reference here, where in the 56th Sarga, Rama in itself, Rama meets Valmiki. And Valmiki prays his obeisance to Ram, Lakshmana and Sita. 3 slokas. How you split depends upon you. So there are about 3 slokas in the 56th Sarga of the Ayodhya Kanda where the author gets referenced. So there is an internal reference to prove that the author was living in the same time of Ramayana. So it is an authenticated biography. It's an authenticated biography of Rama. So he says, oh yes, please come, welcome. Iti Sita cha Ramascha Lakshmanascha Kritanjalihi Abhigamya Asramam Sarve Valmiki Abhivadayan. The sage says, Swagatam, Swagatam, Mahabaho, Swahatam. You be seated. He gives Arkya, Padya, Achamanam. Both did reciprocatory Anjali, pranams. Tan Maharshi Pramuditaha Pujyamasa Dharmavit Asyatamiti cha Uvacha Swagatam tu Nivedya cha. So Valmiki says, hey, Valmiki knows. He says, Dharmavit, hey Rama, you are the man living according to the righteousness. So you are a Dharmavit. Tan Maharshi Pramudita. Valmiki was very happy to see Rama because he has been hearing about these stories. Then he says, this Brahman is walking into my own abode. Tan Maharshihi Pramuditaha Pujya Masa Dharmaviti Asyatam. Be sit, take your seat. Astan kijiye. Asyatamiti cha uvacha swagatam tu nivedya cha. He offered welcome. Nivedya swagatam. So he said welcome. Tataha abraveen mahabahu Lakshmanam Lakshmanagrajaha samnivedya yatanyaya matmanam rishayah prabhu. Then he tells, oh, this is Lakshmana. Then the actual introduction happens. Tato abraveen mahabahu Lakshmanam Lakshmanagraja sam nivedya yatanyaya. So whatever it has to be done according to the Sishtachara, according to tradition, he also showed his obeisance to the Rishi. Who is Rishi? Valmiki. There's a difference. In Valmiki Ramayana, which we are reading, we'll also try to touch upon Tulsidas, because Tulsidas pours out, it's an elaborate part of section by Tulsidas. He introduces lot of additional things that Rama walks in Chitrakoota and a city comes Rajapur, and why that city was mentioned. The later day experts say that that's where the Rajapur is a place in Chitrakoota region. That's where Tulsidas was born. So naturally there is an affection. It's like for you, Rajkot is your affection. Same thing. So likewise, my village is my affection. Same likewise, Tulsidas forcefully introduced and he elaborates. So he brings lot of the village dwellers. They started praising, and then Hanumat Natakam, there's the Hanumat Nataka Kavya. We don't have time to dwell it. It's beautiful. In Hanumat Nataka Kavya, this section is elaborately discussed. How people came and they started cursing Dasaratha, they started cursing Kaikeyi, they started cursing everybody, and then they were related. At least they let them be cursed, but we are blessed to have them. So Rama goes and tells everything, and Rama receives fruits and all those from people. So Tulsidas elaborates, and we'll touch upon couple of dohas, because beautiful dohas. So Lakshmananaya Dharuni. Then Valmiki, why I digressed was, in Tulsidas, it is Valmiki who says, go settle there. Whereas in Valmiki Ramayan, it was Bharadwaj who says there is a place called Chitrakoota, go settle. You can take it that way. When Rama came to Chitrakoota, perhaps Valmiki suggested which place in Chitrakoota they have to put their shelter. So you can take it either way. Anyway, so Lakshmanaha anaya dharuni dhrudani cha varani cha kurushva vasatam saumya vase me abhiratam manaha. Now, this is where Rama is going to settle, at least for a year, in my calculation, in that place. Okay, so he is going to build his own house, shelter. Lakshmana anaya is a civil engineering aspect. They are going to take well bent and perfect wood. Dharuni, that should be strong. Dridanicha, and it should be beautiful. Get good cedar wood. Varani, Dridani, Daruni, Anaya. Lakshmana, go bring this. Kurushva avasatam saumya. Avasatam means residing place, abode. Kurushva avasatam saumya vase me abhiratam mana. Where we will be happy to reside. That is very important. Then he is a dharmatma. Will take lot of Vedic connections and do it. Tasya tatvachanam sritma saumitrihi vividan druman. He says, Bhaiya, I'll give you sample. It's like a contractor. What wood he is going to use, what stain he is going to do, like that. So he brings, Bhaiya, look at this. Can I use this wood? Tasyata tvachanam sritva saumitrihi vividan druman. Different pieces of wood he brings. Ajahara tatas chakre parnashalam arindama. Arindama, spotless man. A great man, Lakshmana. He just brings all the wood, and based on the advice of Ram, he started building a house. Ajahara brought it. Then Chakre he did. Parnashala, mane, the house with thatched roof, not concrete roof. Tam nishtatam bhaddhakatam drishtva Ramaha sudarshanam sushrushamanam ekagram gitam vachanam abravit. Ha, look at my brother. How obedient. Sushrushamanam ekagra chittase. Well concentrated mind. Lakshmana had only one thing. He has to build a house, Parnashala, that will satisfy his brother Ram and his Babi, sister-in-law Sita. That was his only task that time. Tam nishthatam. Nishthatam means steadfast house with good pillars. Bhaddhakatam mane, with grass. The roof, thatched roof. Drishtva, he saw. It's like a, Valmiki also will say this. I don't know how many people, of course, most of you would have gone to Dwarkadish temple. What is the place of, what is the main temple actually called in Bhagavata? What is it called? Think, we'll say, what is the actual sanctum sanctorium of Dwarkadish temple called according to Bhagavat? That is a trivia. Okay, tam nishtatam, next time you go there, ask the Pandit. Tam, but I'll tell you today. Tam nishtatam bhaddhakatam drishtva Ramaha sudarshanam. Rama became happy. Sushrushamanam ekagram idam vachanam abravit. Look, ekagra chitti se mera bhaiya to ye karta hai. He's doing this. And then he said, Enayam, okay, you built this. Hey Anuj, you built this. Now we have to do according to proper Shastra. Yenayam mamsam ahritya shalam yakshya vayam kartavyam vastu shamanam saumitre chirajiva bihi. That is the reason. Jitubai said this afternoon that he and Deena Bahan are going to come. Millie said, yes. So I thought these people will come. Then they gave me a task. This came about 2 o'clock. So I had to drop my son in the symphony. So I just was remembering because he likes to get some Vedic reference. Okay. Eneyam mamsam ahritya shalam yakshya vayam. Eneyam means dark colored deer's mamsa. The flesh of dark colored deer. You may ask, this is Valmiki Vakya Satya. But it doesn't say, Valmiki doesn't say they ate it. Shastra dictates that if you have to do vastu, shamanam, to please the gods that is in that place, you have to do offering. In those days, Kala Bhed hai. It is not for Kali Yuga. Don't bring that here. In those days, because people were not tempted. If it says that you have to offer Sura, like Sita offered Sura to Ganges, they will stop with it. Now, If you say you can offer surah to God, if God is eating, why can't I eat? So the society will change. So kala bhed hua. So you have to take it like this. So Ramayan says Rama brought aineyam mamsam. And then Lakshmana, 3-4 slokas, they will say how to cook. Deena Bayan asked, she gave me some prasad. Did you like it? Well, if Deena makes it's God's offering, I'll take it. Same thing. Lakshmana says, Bhaiya, look, have I cooked it properly? What is he cooking? He's cooking deer mamsa. Aineyam mamsamagritya shalam yakshamahe vayam kartavyam vastu shavanam saumitre chirajivabihi. If you have to live in that house, लेक रिज में रहना तो एक बार और 2 बार द्वारकाधीश को बुलाओ. क्यों ऐसा ही है. इफ यू हैव टू लिव इन दिस हाउस चिरजीव बिहि कर्तव्यम वास्तु. आई हैव टू प्लीज दिस देवतास. What are the devatas? We will see beautifully. Aineyam mamsamahritya shala mane this parna shala. Yaksha pujana karna. Mrigam hatva anaya chipram Lakshmane subhekshane. You know what to do. You know which mriga to pakad, to catch hold of which deer. Mrigam hatva, kill. So this is a good sarga for people who are against Sanatana Dharma. They will pick these slokas and no, you have to understand. That is why you have to study under a guru. I said it's Kalabhed. That in those days one can marry 10 patnis because they were having the same affection to all and they will be able to take care of all. Even one is difficult. Can you do that now? That's why they have illegalized it anyway. So you have to understand like that. So don't say Rama and they said, go Gurgaon, so Brahman Ram should eat it. No, not in this case. So Mrigam Hatva Anaya Chipram, quick. Because he is saying afternoon has come, we have to do this Medyam. We have to do this oblation. Mrigam Hatva Anaya Chipram Lakshmanena Subhekshane, you know what to do according to Dharma. Chakarasa Yatoktam Cha Tam Ramam Puna. We have to do what is stipulated. That is very important. Chakara sa yatoktam cha tam ramam punarabraviti yeneyam srapayasvaitat atayatva yakshamahe vayam. Cook, chapayasva, chapakam. You have to cook well. That's what I said. Deena said it's like that Lakshmana knows to cook. Like Bhima knows to cook in Mahabharata, Lakshmana knows to cook. Yeneyam srapayaschaiva tachalam yakshmahe vayam. Twarai saumya, twarai quick, twarai saumya muhurtoyam dhruvascha divasopyayam. Dhruvascha, dhruva nakshatra hai. It is dhruvante raja varuno dhruvante eva brihaspati dhruvanta indrascha agnischa rakshan darayatam dhruvam. Look at the Vedic vibe. That is Veda. How it is structured in that meter. That is what makes Veda different. Okay? So that auspicious time should not go away. So get it. Then he started doing all the puja. What kind of puja? This needed little bit of research from Das. We were able to get that done. So 3 things you have to do. When you are entering a house, the first thing you have to do is punya vakshan. Punyat ko, you have to invoke punya. Pavamana suvarjanaha pavitrena vicharshani. Pavitrena vicharshani pavamanasu varjanaha. In Pavamana Sukta, you have to recite Pavamana Sukta. And then the Pavamana Sukta ends by asking for the well-being of 2-legged animals, 4-legged animals, all the Jivarasis in the world. Pavitrena vicharshanihi tadigravanno akarasham jishno rasvasya vajinaha. So you do this sprinkling, auspicious. Then what you should do 2 different types of havan. One is using Bhagya Sukta, that means Prata Sukta. When you enter something, you have to invoke auspiciousness using Bhagya Sukta, Agni and Indra. The most beautiful thing is, how do you go to a new neighborhood? That is called Vastoshpati Suktam or Vastu Suktam. How beautiful it is. So Veda says, when you are going to a new neighborhood or when you are entering a new place, you have to introduce yourself. So you knock the door of the next door neighbor, take a piece of cake or fruit. Hey, I am so and so. This is introduction. Veda says, How do you introduce? You introduce to the Vastu Devatas. There are 3 different types of Devatas residing in a place. So this is a ground. How much it is? When the ground is having walls on 4 directions, even though it doesn't have a hut, it gets elevated to a status of a house. That's why even today we follow how, see the nuances. Once you buy a ground, particularly in India, you buy a ground, you leave it lay like that, somebody will come and encroach, and what they do first, they put 4 walls. Once they put 4 walls, then they go and get an electricity connection and they claim that this land belongs to me. So, immediately, a smart act you should do, I witnessed this problem in Bangalore. So the immediate thing you should do is you yourself should put walls and get a temporary electric connection in your name so that that land gets authenticated into a living place. Likewise, Rama built this. Then Veda says you go inside the house and do introduction. Devatas. Like we do introduction to neighbors, Veda says do introduction to the Devatas. What are the Devatas reciting? First Devata is Vastu, Vastoshpati. Second Devata is Dishini. Third Devata is Soma. So, you go inside and then you do oblation in Agni for these Devatas. Vastoshpate pratijanahi asman swavesho anamivo bhavanaha yatve mahe pratitanno jushasva sanno ye didvipate chanchatushpate. Ye Vastoshpati Devata, the Devata who maintains this property, please understand, I want to introduce myself. Pratijanami. Please let us get introduced ourselves. How beautiful. This is a Vedic mantra. You have to bring that. What did I say? Ramayan life management. This is what it is. So go knock at the neighbors. Take some fruit plate. Take some sweet. Tell, hey, I am like this. I have come to this neighborhood. I do so and so. Nice to meet you. Can I ask your help? Same thing. Vasto oshpate pratijanihi asman swavesho anamivo bhavanaha. Let there be no disease. I am not bringing any contagious disease. No disease. Let us have a happy house. Yatve mahe pratitanno jushashva sanno ye didvipate chanchatushpate swaha. Then, hey, I want to make fellowship with you. I want to make friendship with you. So, you have a house. Next is Nilesh Patel's house. Taking like this. You go. Then you build the fellowship. Likewise. Vato oshpate shagmaya sagum sada. Let us be friends. It's very difficult. Your next neighbor is sometimes, because it's difficult, he puts barbecue, he makes sound. Today it will be all sound everywhere. We don't make sound. So my son says, what is this, Appa? Go and tell them. We don't tell. But that is important. Veda says, Vasto oshpate shakmaya sagum sada te sakshi mahi ranvaya ghatumatya. Please give happiness, give rest, and make my labor fruitful. Avahakshe me uta yoge varam. Yoge, yuj. Let us all be in fellowship mode, friendship mode. Yuyam patas swastibihi sadanaha. Let us protect each other. Yuyam patas sadabihi. This is what you do when you do Griha Pravesha. How beautiful. The Pandit never tells the meaning. Vato vasto oshpate pratarano na yedi ghobhir asvebhirindro. May Indra protect the cows in my backyard. Now you talk about dogs and cats. Likewise. Vasto oshpate pratarano na yedi ghobhihi. Because in those days families revolved around cows and horses. Gobir aswame asvebhirindro ajara saste sakhe syama pitave putran pratino jushasva. Let us be taking care of each other like father takes care of son. Look at this. Introduction to the Devatas. What are the Devatas? Vastu Devata, Dishini Devata, Somarajanne, Soma. So it says, it commands, you go, Ditubai does this. And then he puts that oven, and then he is making that devata abide. Because once you do this Shastrokta and you put the ajyam, the devata will listen. It has to listen. That is the Shastra. So he says, by this oblation I am offering, you be like my father and protect me. Then it will protect. Ajara sasse sakye syama pitave putran pratino jushasva. So you do this like 5. Abhivo arche poshyavatonru vastoshpatim tvashtaram rarana dhanya sajosha jishana namobhir vanaspatir oshadi raya eshe. Then you build the garden, vanaspatihi oshadihi. Let them all give money, Rayam, Rayas Poshagum. Let them flourish and let them make us have a living. So this is what Griha Pravesha you do. Vasto Oshpate Dhruvastunam Satram Somyanam Dhruvastunam. Let this house be steadfast. Protect against all the wind blowing in West Texas. Drapso bheta puram shaswatina indro munina am saka swaha. Let this house be there as long as I live. Drapso bheta puram shaswatinam. Indro, Indra. Indra here you should not take as devata. Indra mane steadfast. Let this be steadfast. Shaswatam. So that is Vastoshpati Ajyena. Ajyena juhamahe. Ajyena, we have to do this using ajyam. Then you have to protect all the sites. Dishini devata. Namah prachyai disho yascha devata yetasyam prativasantyeta namo. All the devatas that are in the eastern direction, let them be protected. So neighbors in the eastern, that means you should take it as neighbors in the eastern direction be protected. Namah prachyai dishe yascha devata yetasyam prasivasante tabhyascha namo. Namo dakshinayai dishe yascha devata yetasyam prasivasante tabhyascha namo. Namah pratiichyai dishe yascha devata yatasyam prativasante tabhyascha namo. Nama udiichyai dishe yascha devata yetasyam prasivasante ताभ्यश्च नमो नमः ऊर्ध्वायै दिशे याश्च देवता एतस्यां प्रतिवसन्ते ताभ्यश्च नमो नमो अधराय दिशे याश्च देवता एतस्यां प्रतिवसन्ते ताभ्यश्च नमो नमो ओवान्तरायै दिशे याश्च देवता एतस्यां प्रतिवसन्त्याभ्यश्च नमो 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 गंगा यमुनयोर्मध्ये ये वसन्ति ते मे प्रसन्नात्मना चिरञ्जीवितं वर्धयन्ति. It takes figuratively Ganga Yamuna because those are the pious rivers. So we build the house and grama is being built on the banks of river. Take it like that, that it's metaphor here. Ganges and Yamuna are used as a metaphor even on Mississippi. Whoever is living on the Mississippi, that's what when you came for this Kartikeya Sthapana, you would have heard me saying Sankalpa. What did I say? Mississippi Nadi Dakshina Tate. So you have to say that we live on the banks of river. Whatever river it is Devata Swarupa. Namo Ganga Yamanayor Madhye Te Vasanti Te Me Prasannatma Chiran Jeevitam Vardha. Let them all live well. One is Vastoshpati. And this is the Dishini, I told you. Then you have to ask for well-being to Indra and Agni. Pratar Agnim Pratar Indragum Havamahe Pratir Mitra Varuna Pratarasvina Pratar Bhagam Pushanam Brahmanaspatim Pratar Somam Uta Rudragum Huvema. How beautiful it is. Pratar Agnim Pratar Indragum Havamahe Pratar Mitra Varuna Pratarasvina Pratar Bhagam Pushanam Brahmanaspatim Pratar Somam Uta Rudragum Huvema. All this is there, no? Valmiki is a great rishi, so he knows Veda Pade Pade. So he will say, what are all the bhali, what are all the havan that day Ram did. So it will say, Vaishwadeva Bhali. We saw that. Vaishwadeva means Visvedeva. It has to be Nitya Prakriya. So Vaishwadeva Bali using Anna. We have seen using with Ajya, using Vastoshpati Yajna. Then Vishnu Bali, Rudra Bali. That's what it is. Pratar Bhagam Pushanam Brahmanaspatim Pratas Somam Uta Rudragum Huvayama. Pratarjitam bhagamugragum uvema vayam putram aditiryo vidarta adraschidhyam manyamanastuschittam rajachiddam bhagam bhakshitya. Indra, Agni, Bhaga, Pushna, all these devatas you have to do Bali. So I brought this Veda. These are all there. This is what Pandits recite. So I explained you. Next time when your grandkids build the house, make sure the Pandit that does. Because what did it say? If you do this, if you have belief. We can't force people. If you have belief, they will live long. That's why how generations after generations in our age, still the house what we have is granddads and before them in Chennai. That's what I have. Similarly to you, because they have all done this. Okay, that is the reason. Bhraturu vachanam ajnaya lakshmanam paraviraha chakarasa yatoktam ramaha punarabraviti aineyam srapayastaschalam chalyam yakshamahe vayam Tvaraya saumya muhurtoyam dhruvascha divasopyayam sa lakshmanaha krishna mirgam hatva medyam patapavane ata chipchepa saumitri samidhe jata vedase. I told you. That's why I recited the Vedic. Samid, you have to create a Havan, Samid, Jatavetase, Mane, who knows everything, Agni knows everything. Agne, Jatavetase, it is all the simile for Agni. So they lit the Agni and started during the Havan Medyam. For that Medyam, the Medyam is the Mamsa given as an oblation in a sacrifice. He brought Krishna Mrigam, Aineyam, deer. And then the deer should not have any defects. It should not have any defects. You have to only kill the deer or an animal for Medyam, which is perfect. Sa Lakshmanaha Krishnamigam Hatva Medyam Pratapavane Ata Chikshepa. He threw. Ata, afterwards, Shikshepa Mane, he threw. Saumitri, he Samidhe Jata Vedase. After doing Pakam, he put that offering in the Agni. Tam tu Pakvam Samagnyaya. I remember, that's why it is. Somebody will say, did he bring that mriga and put it in the oven? No. You have to first make it in a way, it has to be cooked. You can't offer an uncooked food to Devata. But you are also asked to offer an uncooked food to Devata. When? Probably you all know. If you don't know, it is called Prabhuta Bhali. In the Vaikunta Samaradhana, if you are believing Shastra, Sri Vaishnavas, on the 10th day, you do Prabhuta Bali. That means you are asking that Atma to leave the premises and go into the ember. The 10th day, Dasaka. In that day, you have to make half-baked food because that Atma should fear, oh, I don't want to reside in this house. They are not even feeding me. You should not put salt. There is no spice. Rice should be quarter boiled, vegetables half dumped, half not boiled, and take a old used cloth, dirty cloth, put and then offer this uncooked. So that is known as Prabhuta Bali. So that's what it is. You should never offer uncooked food to a guest or devata. And how do you overcome it? You overcome it by putting a tulasi. That's what when tulsi bai comes, I see in 1 or 2 times there's a tulasi leaf is there. Why? You do. This gentleman does say why. You also do. Why? Because tulasi is known to have heat. That's why you do that. Whereas Vilva is cold. Rudra is Agni, Swarupam. So you offer Vilva to Rudra. Lord Krishna is cold. Neela Mega Shyamala. Why cold? Because he is half of the time residing in Kshirabdi. All have connection. So you put that is why Tulasi. Taruna Tulasi Mala Kandaram Kanjanetram. That is the reason you offer Tulasi to Lord Balaji, because it has innate heat in it. So even if that's what they say, it purifies the Anna. How it purifies, that is what it is. It comes from the feet of Lord Hari, that is Pavitra. And also, because it is innately having heat, you figuratively think that this is cooking to the satisfaction of the Lord. That's why you offer Tulasi Tala. Okay, something new. Tam tu pakvam samajnaya nishtaptam chinna sonitam. That is very important. So Rama says, cook it well. Nishpashtam. Nishtaptam. Taptam. In good heat, I told you, no. Nishtataptam. Chinna shonitam. Shonita mane blood. Chinnam, divide of blood. So this much Valmiki notes here. Tam tu pakvam samagnya. Understand. Hey Lakshmana, understand how it should be cooked. How Gujarati thali should be made. Tam tu pakvam samagnyaya nishtataptam chinna shonitam. Shonita mane blood. Chinna, divide. Lakshmanaha purusha vyagram ataragavam abravit. Look, Rama tells all this. How particular, like this gentleman. Somebody says, why I invoke him? Right? Pujya Yatis came. But I also notice, but I am very diplomatic. Who am I to say? What did he do? That is Shastrajna. You see, no, why I tell? Look. What is there? What Rama did? He is Lubbock Rama. You are also. So both Hetal and Millie, you are all. But you see, this is what it is. So, I am Krishna samaptagnaha shrutaha Krishna mrigo yata devata devashamkasha yajasva kushalo hisi. Hey Rama, now you will be happy. Kushalo asi. Are you happy now? Because we have offered according to what Shastra says. Lakshmanaha purusha vyagra ataragavam abraviti ayam Krishna samapta. I am Krishna Samapta. This is which is Samapta Angaha. That's what I said. Samapta Angaha. It is not having any defects. Samapta Angaha. Perfect. In all the perfect eyes, ears, all tail, everything. Samapta Angaha. I am Krishna. Ram, I know you will ask this. You see, that is the thing I diverted. They wanted to show that the Yatis came, so they took nice pictures. And you should have seen the picture the other temple put it. Oh, that is, Jitubai will get, he won't get angry, but he will be upset. Different story. Leave it. So, that is it. So, it should be perfect. I am Krishna samaptangaha shruta Krishna mrigo yata devata devasanka. So, let this samaptanga Krishna aineyam, black antelope, let it be fed to all the devatas in a bhava. You can't go and give it to Lord. You don't see him. It's bhava. But that is why you take Agni as a messenger. Agni Devadutaha, Yamo Devadutaha. Two people are considered to be Devaduta. Today the lecture is becoming more of a Veda and Shastra. So be it. So, Agni Devaduta. Agni Devaduta, Yamaha Devaduta. Both are called as Devadut. So, Ramaha snatva tu niyataha gunavane japya kovitaha sangrahena karot sarvane mantrane satra vasanikane. Vasanikane satran. Satra mane yajna. Vasanikan, for living. Vastu, that's what we said. Vato oshpate swaha. Soma yaswaha dishi devata yaswaha yascha devata tebhyo namo yascha devata prachay dishe yascha prachay de. What are all the devas? Those mantras which you should recite, which we have already showed. Ishtva deva ganane sarvane vivesha vasatam suchihi babuvacha manoklado ramasyam amita tejasa. Rama felt, what my Vasishta Guru had told me to do, I have done. So look, before beginning yajna, you should take snana. And if you are doing Mahashivratri, this may be difficult to do, but you do all this arti and everything. You have to go home and take snana. It is called Avabhrita Mangala Slana. That function, because everything is tirtha, that function doesn't get finished until you take Avabhrita Snana. That Avabhrita Snana should be done without Vilambita, because all the devatas you have imbibed here, They have the Sannivesha in you. So you have to make sure they go to the Yathasthana. How do you send them back? Send them in a cool way. So you do Avabrita Mangala Snan. So Yajna Samapt hota hai. Avabrita Mangala Snan. Valmiki knows. So when Rama began, you will see it. When Rama began this Havan, Snatva. Then, after he finished all this yajna, Vaishwadeva Bhalim Krita will finish 4 sloka. What did I say? Rudra Visvedeva. I recited the mantra for all the devatas. I said what? Rudra Juhomi, Vishnave, Vishnu Bali, Rudra Bali, Viswadeva Bali, Vaishwadeva Bali. Likewise, there are 42 Balis. You have to make 42 white rice with ajya. No tilu. You should not use tilu. For Pitrapinda, you use tilu. 1 bali is Pitrapinda. So 42. Vaishwadeva Bhalim Kritva Raudram Vaishnameva Cha. Vaishwadeva Bali, Vishnu Bali, Rudra Bali. Vastu Shamani Mangalani Pravartayan Japam Cha Nyayataha Nyayataha Yata Vidhi Kritva Snatva Nadyam Yata Vidhi. I said this. Kritva, after finishing all the yajna, Snatva. So if you think you are doing some big havan, I don't know if the previous Pandit told you or not, go home, at least do prokshana. Vaiswadeva Bhalim Kritva Raudram Vaishnaveva Cha Vastu Samshamaniyani Mangalani Pravartayanne Japam Cha Jnayate Kritvasna Kritvasnatva. That's what I took reference. Kritvasnatva Nadhyam Yata Vidhi. You do Aswamedha. How do you end Aswamedha? You burn that Vedika. You build that Vedika, do Aswamedha. And when you start that Aswamedha Yaga, Saptasoma Yaga Mane, Vajapayam Mane 7 days. Once the Yajamana and Yajamana Patri enters the Vedika, they should not leave. Even if their son or daughter dies, they hear the news, then also they should not stop. And when they finish, after the last yajna, the hota will burn that Vedika. It will burn. And then the entire people will go towards Nadi and take a dip. That is known as Avabrita Mangalasnan. That's what it is. Japam cha nyatva nyayataha kritva snatva nadyam yata vidhi papasam manam rama chakara balimuttamam. That is how you complete an important function. Papa samshamanam. Papa to it went because he did yata vidhi. Ramaha chakara balimuttamam. Vedisthala vidanani chaitya ayatanani cha asramasya anurupani stapayamasa raghava. Then how should your house be? Like you have. Vedisthalam, God residing place, you all have. Then you should have a space for keeping Shastra book. Chaityani. Then the puja dravya all have to be kept separately. That is known as ayatanani. Imagine, everything is here. How your griha should be, what you should do for housewarming, not cutting the cake. Who am I to tell? Valmiki tells, I tell. Okay, so a Pandit should tell all this. Then you think, I have some method to this madness, what I am doing. How beautiful. One sarga, one important function you all learned. Your great-grandson, Jituba, if he comes and you will live to see great-great-grandsons flourish. Then you tell. On a Super Bowl day, we had a good satsang. This talam Agnihotra ke liye ek sthan hai. Vidhanani, living drawing room where you do all this charcha. This happened 1 month back, is it not? See, Vidhanani, Chaityani, Ayatanani, cha drawing room where you discuss, not all the time eating chips and beer and and then watch Super Bowl. This is how, if you believe. Look, Vedisthalam, Vidhanani, Chaityani, Ayatana, Danya ho to Hetal, Danya ho to Mili, Danya ho to Marissa. At least you came today. Some new things you learnt. I made sure, because one person said, oh, we are preparing for a ball. But I said some new information should go. 2 hours Ram was with me, I could recollect. Ashramasya anurupani, which is perfectly fitting to this ashrama. So don't put something in the yonder, like every houses, your houses, I have not visited to Mili, it will be like Vaikunta. That's what it is. We'll finish this. That do you remember the trivia what I asked? What is the Divya Dama? That sanctum sanctorium of Dwarakadish is called. Vedistalam vidhanani chaityani ayatanani cha ashramasya anurupani stapayamasa raghava vanyair malyaihi palamulaihi pakvamamsaihi yata vidhi adbhihi japaischa vedoktaihi dharmaischa saramit kushaihi samit kushaihi. Thought they did everything. Tau tarpayitva bhutani raghavav sahasitaya. That's why myself and Dina will come. That is how you should live the life. Chiranjeevi Bhava. Likewise, you all live. That is what Veda stipulates. Here he says, Tau Tarpayitva. Tarpana mane, please. Tau Tarpayitva Bhutani. All the devatas. Raghavau, both Rama Lakshmana, Sahasitaya, Tada Vivashatu Shalam, Sushubham, Subha Lakshmana. They entered their new house to live happily, Mangalam ho. Tada vivishatuhu. They entered after performing all the as stipulated housewarming ceremonies. They entered and they wanted to be happy. Tam vriksha parnas chadanam manogyam. It was very happy for them. Yata pradesham sukrutam nivatam. And it was perfectly made in such a way that it will block all the big winds. Nivatam. Vasaya sarve vivishuhu sametaha sabham. That's what it is. We are coming to the end. So how was their house? Next time when you go to Dwarakadish, remember, it is called Sudharma.
Sudharma Sabha.
Sudharma Sabha.
Yes.
Parama Pavana name. It is the name of the Sabha. There are 3 places where Sudharma Sabha is there. Of course, Indra ka Sabha to Sudharma Sabha. And Dwarakadish overnight asked Vishwakarma, build it, Dwaraka, and it should be as good or if not better than Sudharma. So it is known as Sudharma Sabha. And then Krishna himself for Rajasuya Yajna in Indraprastha for Dharma built Sudharma. So Pavanaho. So Sudharma, Sabham Yata Devagana, Sudharma Manekanana Mrigapakshi Samkule, Vichitra Pushpasthabakaihi Drumayute, Vana Uttame Vyala Mriga Anunadite Tata Vijakruhu, Susukam Jitendriya. They were happy, they were walking, taking walks in mall, taking walks everywhere, Suhurtu, with their friends, Vijakruhu. So this is where they are going to be happy. Valmiki finishes. One of the best thing Ram had is in the past 5 days, he is feeling at home. Suramyam asadyatu chitrakutam nadhim chatam malyavatim sutirtam. It is nothing but Malyavati. It is nothing but the river flowing in Sudharmasthana, in Indraloka. Suramyam asadya tu Chitrakutam asadya. Having come to Chitrakuta, built their house on the banks of Mandhakini, Malyavati. Suramyam asadya tu Chitrakutam nadhim chatam Malyavatim sutirtam. Nananda Krishta Mrigapakshi Jushtam. They were happy under peacocks and all the cuckoos and koil. They were all happy, making merriest sounds. Nananda Krishta Mrigapakshi Jushtam. Jahaucha dukkam. All the dukkam went away. Jaiho. All the dukkam went away. That's what I said. This sarga, we finished. Jahaucha dukkam pura vipravasa. Having left pura vipravasa, having left Ayodhya, they were stuck with 5 days of stress, nothing but stress. that all dissipated away. Jahaucha dukkam paravipravasam suramyamasadyatu chitrakutam nadim chatam alyavatim sutirtam nananda hrishtam mrigapakshi juttam jahaucha dukkam puravipravasam suvarnakutam rajatapikutam aniratnakutam anekakutam bahuvarnakutam Sri Chitrakutam sharanam prapadye Sri Chitrakutam sharanam प्रपद्ये चित्रकूटं समाचरणं प्रपद्ये मंगलम कोसलेन्द्राय महनीय गुणाब्दये चक्रवर्ती तनूजाय सार्वभौमाय मंगलम पवमान सुदुडुपट्टु पादार विंदमुलको निनाम रूपमुलको नित्य जय मंगलम बोलो सियावर रामचंद्र जी की जय।